The Arcane buffs are real, and Riot has finally given Warwick a well-deserved spotlight. If you have been frustrated with his bugs or felt he was lacking in consistency, you are in for a treat. And if you are curious why I'm talking about Arcane buffs, I highly recommend watching the series. It's fantastic and season 2 drops this Saturday. Hey guys, I'm Forrest and today I'm going to break down Warwick's update in patch 14.22 changes that will make a difference in his gameplay feel, especially if you're a Warwick main or love diving into the jungle. Let's get into it. Model and ultimate hitbox changes. Starting off, his model size increased by 15%. It's not a massive change, but I love that they have made him look a little more intimidating. Warwick's meant to be a terrifying monster, so this size adjustment just feels right, adding to his overall presence on the reef. Next, let's talk about his ultimate radius, which increased from 100 to 150. This isn't a massive game changer, but it's definitely a helpful adjustment. Now the big change here is to his ultimate hitbox. For years, Warwick players have been plagued by an odd hitbox where his ult would sometimes aim at the enemy behind him if they were within that ult hitbox. Imagine going for an aggressive ult to engage forward or to escape only to accidentally target someone too close behind you. Riot has now finally fixed this, so you will be ulting in the direction you intend without any surprises. It's a massive quality of life improvement that removes a lot of frustration from his kit. E ability buffs. Another great change is to his E ability cast time, which is now reduced from 0.5 to 0.25 seconds. Since his E has a casting animation, this change is important because it lets you fit an extra auto attack. This is especially helpful for Warwick's healing, as that additional auto attack can sometimes be just enough to heal up in clutch moments, whether you are taking turret shots or taking damage from enemies. It's a small yet impactful change that contributes to his overall sustainability and survivability. Now for the biggest changes in this patch, Warwick's W, Bloodhound. First, they reduced the mana cost by 25, which is a big win for his sustain. Warwick's always had mana issues, especially early on, so this cost reduction will help him keep up his pace on the top lane without needing to recall as often. Additionally, they lowered the W cooldown at earlier ranks, which means you can use it more frequently when it matters most. This alone is a welcome change, but there's more. Attack speed trigger from spells. Now spells will also trigger Bloodhound's attack speed boost when they hit enemies below 50% health. This is huge as it lets Warwick stay aggressive even when relying on his spells to secure kills. Lingering attack speed. The attack speed boost Warwick gains from Bloodhound will now linger between attacks. In practical terms, this means the attack speed bonus doesn't vanish right after each hit, it sticks around a bit longer, so you can maintain a high attack speed even if there is a slight delay between attacks or if you use spells between your auto attacks. This change makes Warwick's attack speed much more consistent and allows him to sustain DPS effectively, especially during chases. Passive bonus change. His passive now grants 200% attack speed bonus on enemies below 25% health instead of 250% on enemies below 20%. While this may sound like a nerf, it's actually a bit of buff, as it allows Warwick to ramp up his attack speed sooner. With the rest of the W changes, it's a good trade-off for hitting those thresholds earlier, which is beneficial for execution in fights. Cooldown dynamics. One small but important adjustment is how Bloodhound cooldown behaves. Previously, if no enemies were marked, the cooldown would decay twice as fast. Now if you use Bloodhound and don't find any targets, it instantly refunds 30% of the cooldown. This makes the cooldown longer when you are just scouting and don't fight anyone, but when you are certain someone is in the jungle or nearby, it's actually a buff. Casting freedom in combat. Previously, entering combat would disable casting your W, making you lose your movement speed for 3.5 seconds because you had to leave combat for 3.5 seconds before being able to activate your W. This was tough for Warwick since he's naturally slower than most champions, but now he retains both the movement speed and attack speed bonuses for that full 8-second duration even while in combat. This is a huge help for Warwick, and you can actually cancel your W cast animation with your Q as well. With this change, Warwick won't lose his speed advantage as quickly, letting him either stick to his target more effectively or disengage from bad situations. This addresses one of his main weaknesses and make him feel way more fluid in fights. W synergy with ult range. Here is why the W changes are even more impactful. Warwick's ultimate range scales with his movement speed. Since Bloodhound now provides a more consistent movement speed boost, Warwick's will have a longer ult range more often, making it easier for him to initiate teamfights or escape tricky situations. This is a significant buff for Warwick players. Final thoughts: Warwick feels consistent and reliable. Overall, I'm really impressed that Riot focused on quality of life changes instead of just generic buffs. These adjustments make Warwick feel smoother to play and improve his kit's overall consistency, which was long overdue. Warwick hasn't received major updates in a while. He's typically only seen bug fixes or minor tweaks. But this time Riot went the extra mile, refining his abilities in ways that really respect the needs of Warwick players. As a Warwick main, this patch feels like Riot truly decent and made a lasting improvement rather than simply buffing his damage or stats. And sure, there are still a few bugs here and there, but nothing game breaking, and this patch definitely gives us a more polished and reliable Warwick. Alright guys, that's all from me today. I hope this update helps you understand what to expect when playing Warwick in patch 14.22. If you are a Warwick fan, definitely check out Arcane Season 2 on Saturday. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.